Hi there, everybody. Welcome to a new week of the History of Photography. Please be sure to take a close look at the announcement that I posted for you on the front page of Blackboard, as it contains important details about your Photographer Showcase project and other helpful reminders. There are some very important due dates listed in that announcement that I don't want you to miss. If you are experiencing any challenges with your Photographer Showcase, remember, I need you to reach out to me so I can be aware of the problems that you're having and assist you with the solution. I don't hear anything. I assume things are going great on your end, so it's really important for you to keep that in mind and reach out as necessary. This week, you'll be digging into a new learning unit about photography as social documentation. This is one of my personal favorite topics. When I was a student, I loved learning about this. In our past units, we set some important context that will relate to this unit as well. And we established that grand debate surrounding photography in the 19th century. Remember, we talked about, is it industry or is it fine art? And another thing that we also learned was that as Kodak emerged in the 1890s, Western culture experienced an explosion of amateur photographers. Now, on top of that category of work, on top of the amateur photographers, or all the snapshots that were going on all over the place, we also had photographers that were making images explicitly to express creative ideas. And so you can think about Alfred Stieglitz, the work that was exhibited in 291, and in camera work, the pictorialists, etc. Or there were the artists or the photographers who were taking pictures to document and spread images of objects and events in their surroundings. Timothy O'Sullivan would be one specifically. So there's lots of photographers that we took a look at that would also fall into that category, but it's that category that we're moving forward with this week. Okay, so we're kind of tying back to those earlier origins or roots. And these two categories are positioned historically as art photography and documentary photography. And they can be used today as helpful tools to orient us to the photographers of the past. But it's always important to be critical as a person looking back on history and remember that, again, these are ways that people have constructed to help us understand what happened in the past. And it's not like photographers are really kind of operating in these neat little boxes. So remember that the work of photographers would certainly have overlapped these categories. In fact, some people may argue that the best documentary photographers are those who can capture images that convey the qualities of a work of art and record an event in the world at the same time. Maybe you agree with that. The photographers you will learn about this week played pivotal roles in using photography to spread awareness about social issues. Their work inspired social change and informed many people about problems in the world that otherwise were invisible to the masses. So it's a very different use for photography overall. I want you to think critically this week about the content that you're learning about and try to identify similarities between the subject matter of Jacob Riis, Lewis Hine, Dorothea Lange, and Walker Evans and some of the problems in the United States today. Can you identify connections between the problems they were photographing and the problems around us today? How does viewing the work of these photographers affect your thoughts and opinions about what's happening around us today? Does it make you want to act? Does it make you want to change things? I have included a final slide in this week's voice thread for you to reflect on those questions. And by the way, there's no right or wrong answer to that. It's completely subjective, and it's something I want you to bring your own ideas to. But think about it first. Speaking of that voice thread, this week you're going to participate in one single voice thread as an entire class, rather than in specific groups. I'm making this shift in an effort to connect you with more viewpoints as we move into more discussion-oriented topics, so I hope you enjoy that. Have a terrific week, everyone, and let me know if you have any questions.